Yeah, that's not gonna scar children at all. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today, we're counting down our picks for the top 10 terrifying deaths in kids' movies. For this list, we're looking at the scariest, most unsettling deaths in live-action kids' movies. We will not be including animated movies as they deserve and already have their own list.
Can't keep a good dog down.
We'll also be excluding movie deaths that are sad rather than terrifying. Sorry, Marley and me.
More than anything, I don't know exactly where we go from here. But I want you to remember you're a great dog, Marley.
If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below. Number 10. E.T. E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial. Yes, we know E.T. doesn't stay dead. But the moment when he seems to be gone forever has traumatized generations of children. It's disturbing enough seeing any close companion wither away from sickness, but E.T. elevates it to another level. You've got scary government agents all over the place, E.T. visibly sick and weak, tubes and ventilators, E.T. entombed in a transparent body bag, and Elliot wasting away due to the link he shares with his extraterrestrial pal. Spielberg isn't shy about bludgeoning the viewer with the horror of it all. These scenes are unsettling enough for an adult, never mind a kid.
She did, Mama.
I think so, sweetheart.
Number 9. Jack Frost.
Mom needs you.
What if I need you?
I will always be there.
Losing a parent is every child's worst nightmare. Unfortunately for 11-year-old Charlie Frost, that nightmare becomes a reality when his father Jack dies in a car accident. While we don't see the accident itself, we do see the event from Jack's point of view. The close-up visuals and creepy music are terrifying, but what makes this death extra scary is the fact that this type of accident happens all too often. Jack Frost left many of us feeling dread anytime mom or dad got in the car on a snowy day. Number 8. Skip. My dog Skip.
Is he gonna die?
I don't know. I've done all I can. It's in God's hands now.
People hate seeing dogs die so much in movies. There's a website dedicated to informing audiences in advance, doesthedogdie.com. Well, the ending of My Dog Skip is one of the reasons we're all scarred. The movie culminates in an unsavory character called Junior knocking Skip over the head with a spade. Willie screams and cries for his dog, thinking he's just been murdered.
What you doing? That's my dog! Skip!
It's enough to send children into hysterics. Fortunately, the dog survives his injuries. Unfortunately, the movie immediately launches into a montage that sees a lonely Skip dying alone in Willie's bed while he's away at college. Talk about emotional whiplash.
They buried him out under our elm tree, they said. That wasn't totally true. For he really lay buried in my heart.
Number 7. The Wicked Witch of the West, The Wizard of Oz.
The Emerald City is fast as lightning!
This movie is filled with unsettling visuals, but nothing comes close to the witch melting into a puddle before our very eyes. Sure, there's gore, but the movie does all it can to make the scene terrifying.
You cursed brat! Look what you've done! I'm melting! Melting!
The witch screams in obvious pain, and we hear nasty corroding noises as she slowly dissolves. The camera's refusal to cut away, combined with the lack of music, make the scene feel all too real. And we're not sure we want realism when it comes to watching someone melt to death. The scene still looks impressive today, so we can only imagine how terrifying it was in 1939.
She's dead. You killed her.
I didn't mean to kill her. Really, I didn't.
Number 6. Auntie Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. This movie starts off as a lighthearted romp, but its tiny world turns out to be terrifying. The huge bees are nerve-wracking enough, but the giant scorpion is legit nightmare fuel. Well, okay, it's a normal-sized scorpion, but it's all relative. Trying to defend the kids, their newfound ant friend, Auntie, rushes into the rescue, but is fatally stung in the process. And it couldn't be more traumatic. The scorpion pins Auntie to the ground, and he screams in pain and fear before the scorpion's tail is driven into his back. It's both devastatingly sad and deliriously frightening. It certainly made us think twice about kicking anthills, that's for sure.
Saved my life. No, he's gonna be okay.
Number 5. Charlotte's Web. E.B. White's timeless story has been teaching young children about change and mortality for decades.
I'm languishing.
What does that mean?
It means I'm dying.
What? You can't die.
In 2006, it finally got a live-action adaptation, and even rewatching today, Charlotte's death is still just as horrifying as ever. Julia Roberts' soft, faltering voice is haunting, and Wilbur's pained expressions tenderly convey his feelings of confusion and grief.
Please come down, Charlotte. Please, there must be something I can do.
No, Wilbur. Don't you know what you've already done? You made me your friend. And in doing so, you made a spider beautiful to everyone in that barn.
Death is a scary concept for children to understand, but while E.B. White's novel is a time-honored teaching tool, this particular adaptation might be a bit too much for young viewers to handle.
Goodbye, my sweet, sweet Wilbur.
Goodbye, Charlotte.
Number 4. Artax, The NeverEnding Story. It was one of the most magical and imaginative movies in a decade full of them. Yet The NeverEnding Story still found time for evocative, emotional moments such as this.
Come on, Artax. What's the matter? What's wrong?
While traversing the swamp of sadness, Artax gets stuck in the mud and slowly sinks to his death as Atreyu desperately tries to free him.
Artax, you're sinking! Come on, turn around! You have to now!
There are just so many frightening things about this scene, we don't even know where to start. There's the fact that Artax actually looks scared and confused. There's the dark, muddy, misty setting of the swamp, and there's the old synthesizer music that builds to a haunting crescendo as Atreyu grows increasingly desperate. This scene, for many viewers, is a never-ending nightmare.
You gotta move or you'll die! Move, please! I won't give up! Don't quit! Artax!
Number 3. Old Yeller. Old Yeller. Sad dog stories are a dime a dozen, but Old Yeller is the one by which all others are judged. After the titular dog is bitten by a rabid wolf, he begins to show violent signs of being rabid himself.
What's the matter, boy? Come on, it's time to eat.
Wishing to spare the dog more misery, Travis takes matters into his own hands.
There's no hope for him now, Travis. He's suffering. You know we've got to do it.
I know, Mama. He was my dog. I'll do it.
Children are forced to deal with a lot of unsettling realities throughout the climax of this movie. There's the very concept of rabies itself, seeing a once peaceful and friendly dog go rabid, and finally, euthanasia. It's really heavy stuff for a kids movie, and it may prove far too unnerving of a viewing experience. Number 2. Leslie, Bridge to Terabithia. Perhaps the most tragic thing about Leslie's death is just how unexpected it is. Seemingly out of nowhere, Jess is told by his father that Leslie is dead.
Your friend Leslie's dead.
She drowned in a creek this morning.
And while we don't see the tragedy itself, Jess's pained reaction is more than enough to play on our inherent fear of death. This plot development is not only scary for children, but adults as well.
No, you're lying. She's not even dead, you're lying!
Jess! For kids, the film conveys the idea that death can be senseless and completely random. Sometimes it takes good people full of promise and potential. For adults, it's a reminder of every parent's worst nightmare. The fact that their child can be taken from them at any moment and that they're powerless to stop it.
She said if it wasn't for you. Jess, you're the best friend she's ever had. I want to thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Thomas, My Girl. Bridge to Terabithia shares a lot in common with My Girl. While attempting to find Veda's mood ring, Thomas is attacked by a swarm of bees. We see Thomas swatting the bees before the camera cuts to his falling glasses, implying his death from an allergic reaction.
Wait! Ow! Get away!
As if seeing the event wasn't traumatizing enough, we later see Thomas's pockmarked face as he lays in the coffin.
Wanna go tree climbing, Thomas J? His face hurts. And where is his glasses? He can't see without his glasses. Put his glasses on. Put on his glasses.
It touches on all the same themes as Bridge to Terabithia, including senseless loss and childhood grief. Only this time, we actually see the event and the aftermath.
Sweetie, that wasn't your fault. Things like that aren't anybody's fault. It just happened.
These are important themes, but man, did the filmmakers ever make it hard to sit through. Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.